Steam Next Fest has returned, and it brings with it a ton of fun and fabulous indie game demos. The event is live right now, and it runs until June 17th, so get 'em while they're hot. Right off the bat, my favorite demo was for a big old bright and colorful adventure game called Caravan SandWitch. I just made a video about it last week, and the devs went ahead and dropped this fascinating demo, and I'm beyond excited. The game looks super crisp and just very polished, no performance issues, which I was a little worried about just because you can roam a pretty big and detailed open world, but it ran great. And then I actually started moving around, and the character feels super responsive. You can climb up most rocks and cliffs, jump between rooftops, zip down zip lines. And the driving. Again, it feels great. You can get going pretty fast, and I found myself purposefully veering off the path because I wanted to test out the van's off-roading capabilities. So yeah, if you like sci-fi, exploration, climbing, puzzles, really cool world building, check out Caravan SandWitch. Grunn is a seemingly chill gardening game with some very sinister undertones, and a jump scare or two that did get me pretty good. But most of the time, when the sun's out at least, you're just walking around, trimming hedges, and cleaning up your client's yard. But then weird things start happening. As you poke around the town, you'll pick up on little details that just don't seem quite right. The game is somehow unsettling and relaxing at the same time, and I think being able to switch from one to the other on a dime like this makes it a pretty unique experience. And I do like games that take place in a smaller, densely packed map like this, and I can see a lot of survival horror influence with all the locked off areas and items you find. I'm still not quite sure if I'd call Grunn a full-on horror game, but it's definitely a very fun time. The game is launching sometime in 2024. Now, with most of these titles, I did already have an eye on them before Next Fest, but Arranger is one that totally surprised me. It's a puzzle adventure game, and the whole world is connected by this grid-based, almost conveyor belt-like floor. I feel like just watching a video of gameplay doesn't really do it justice, because the movement system feels very satisfying once you get your hands on it, and the art is just jam-packed with that special something that I just can't get enough of. You play as Gemma as she sets out to leave her hometown and discover what's really out there. It's full of some very neat puzzle ideas and really gets that whole I'm going on a big life-changing adventure vibe right. I'm not sure if I've ever really seen a puzzle RPG like this before, but I am completely sold here and can't wait to play Ranger when it releases very soon on July 25th. If you're looking for something very arcadey and easy to jump into, here's Parking Garage Rally Circuit. Now, a lot of rally games seem to take themselves very seriously, so it's refreshing to see one that's not afraid to have some fun. The demo has 2 tracks that you can race around in either a light or heavy car once you unlock it, and this really is the kind of game that you'll either know is or isn't for you just at a first glance. It's got different graphics settings and aspect ratios to replicate the look of playing on various systems, probably the most over-the-top drifting I've ever experienced, and giant boulders and falling rocks that topple down from the heights of Mount Rushmore. This will be the perfect bite-sized title to play on the go whenever it comes out later in 2024. Next is a Bethesda-inspired RPG called Mirthwood. I've been following this game for a while now, and I'm really liking how it's turned out. It definitely feels like playing an Elder Scrolls game with a more cutesy pop-up book style. The demo really just scratches the surface here, giving you a taste of combat, quests, character traits, and a lot more, but my biggest takeaway after playing is I want to play more. I want to dive deeper into the life sim aspects, befriending characters or pissing them off. I want to build up my homestead and start planting crops, and I want to explore more of the open world map, which will have 6 different regions in the full game, as well as a dynamic weather system and real-time events that the player will stumble across as they travel. This is definitely the first time I've seen an RPG with an art style anywhere similar to this before, and I think it works wonderfully. Mirthwood should be coming out in Q3 this year, which really isn't too far away at all. Gotta include a Metroidvania on this list, and my pick is Pipistrello and the Cursed Yoyo, a very unconventional entry into the genre. All your upgrades come in the form of new yo-yo tricks that you'll use to get around a bustling city in order to save your family's name. Long story short, the spirit of your mob boss auntie is now trapped inside your prized yo-yo, and together you'll go around finding special upgrades, doing some platforming, and ultimately defeating 4 powerful crime lords. It really might end up being more of a puzzle platformer than a true Metroidvania. I don't really know, but I do know that this game has huge potential and is super charming. It's the kind of game that combines all these wacky ideas together, and it somehow just works. The only piece of, criticism I have is that movement and combat is pretty clunky, but I think it's something that you get used to. I just wasn't expecting it based on the trailers. Still super fun though, and no release date here yet. But Parcel Corps does have a release date, September 3rd, and I kind of suck at it. You play as a freelance bicycle messenger, and I thought it would be more of an arcadey experience, but there is actually a pretty high skill ceiling here. Lots of cars and obstacles to watch out for, but also lots of shortcuts and super cool stunts to pull off once you really master your bike riding skills. The game has a pretty over-the-top story about 3 rival bicycle courier corporations and an evil CEO set on messing with you. Seems like a lot of missions will be timed deliveries, with the option for some free roam in between, and I'm hoping there will also be some other kinds of things like trick battles and traversal missions too, like trying to achieve high scores or get up to certain difficult to reach areas, to really spice things up and encourage players to get really good at moving around. I'm not quite there yet, but I am looking forward to pedaling through this vibrant world in just a few more months. And the last game I have for you today is a very curious one indeed. Blueprints, where you draft blueprints for a mysterious manor filled with shifting corridors and plenty of puzzles. Every time you open up a new door, you get to choose what's behind it: a spare bedroom or a laboratory, a den or a hallway. And each night, once you've run out of steps, the entire mansion resets itself, so each run will be completely different. But you carry with you the knowledge you gained from the day before and whatever potentially helpful information you may have written down for future reference. Blueprints is hands down the coolest premise I've ever seen for a roguelite. It's got a creepy and intriguing atmosphere, the possibility for some really cool puzzle setups that stretch across multiple in-game days, and I'm definitely going to play this one whenever it comes out. I hope you found something new to play from this list today, and if I missed any top-notch demos, please do let me know because I plan on playing through a bunch more throughout the week and would love to try out your suggestions.